Italian Trade Agency is an organization that has as a mission to help Italian companies to grow through internationalization. So the activity of Italian Trade Agency has an impact on export. Export has been in the latest year the key driving force for Italian GDP growth. And actually, if we exclude 2017, where we also have seen some good sign in internal consumption and on investment, has been the real only growing factor. So export is vital for the Italian economy, and the Italian Trade Agency is there to support the Italian company to export more product abroad. 2017 has been a very positive year for Italian export. Actually, it's been a record year. We grew our export 7.4%. And the biggest part of this growth was coming from non-European countries, where we grew in excess of 8%. And growth was particularly in the Americas and in Asia. So with two very similar dynamics, but two very different starting points. In the Americas, I mean Canada, US, South America, Italian products are very well known. There is a strong reputation for the made in Italy. There is a cultural proximity between Italy and those countries. Actually, you have a lot of Italian person by origin living there. So it was a matter of accelerating a growth dynamic on a base that was already very favorable to Italian products. Very different is the situation in Asia. Just to give you an example, the market share of Italian product in the world are overall 3%. In Asia is 1%. So our presence is still very marginal. And this is because Asia is a country that is far culturally and geographically. And there's never been a real focus for Italian institutions and industries. This is changing. In the last 2 or 3 years, for instance, from an institutional standpoint, there has been a much more intense presence of Italian institutions. We've been running a visit of the President of the Republic, of the Head of State, several ministers. We have organized several delegations of Italian companies and entrepreneurs that were going to Asia and to China to present their idea, their technology, their products. Italian Trade Agency has multiplied 4 times the investment, for instance, in China. So this is creating much more evidence of Italian proposition, technology, product ideas. And you know, in those countries, it's very important not only the product, the financial power, but also the personal relation. And being able to create personal relation with a key player in the government, in the industry, can really make the difference. Well, you know, it's very interesting to see that despite Italy is mostly associated to fashion, food, furniture, Ferrari, and so forth, when we look at 2017 result, the biggest growth comes from industry where research and development and technology are the key competitive factors. The most important growth was coming, for instance, from pharmaceutical, chemical, automotive, green energy, mechanics, robotics. So all industry where technology plays a major role. And this is very important because I strongly believe that, particularly talking of the big investment in Asia, Russia, and so on and so forth, where you really play the game is when you have a new technology that can help this process of re-industrialization of those countries. And Italian companies has excellent technology, but most of the time they are not known. There is not enough knowledge and visibility. So this is where we can play a role as Italian Trade Agency, helping to communicate, to increase visibility of these competitive edges of the Italian industry that are not very much known as of today. Yeah, fashion is without any doubt one of the most important pillars of the Made in Italy in the world. And not only in the numbers, it's clearly a very big industry, and Italy enjoys a very strong position in the world in fashion, but also because it can be a showcase of the Italian way of doing business, related to the creativity, related to the attention to detail, related also to the business model made of district with strong competence and knowledge related to specific industries. So promoting fashion, you promote the Made in Italy, you promote overall the competitiveness of the Italian industry. We are investing our important budget to support fashion internationally to communicate those attributes of Italian fashion and to help the big fashion events to become even bigger, both the ones that are in Italy, trade fair, fashion show, fashion weeks and so on and so forth, but also helping those organizations to establish internationally their event. We worked a lot for fashion companies to establish events in China, in Japan, in Russia. And the second point that is giving very good result is activity that we are organizing together with some of the biggest retailers in the world to showcase small and medium product coming from small and medium Italian enterprise with beautiful quality and creativity, but they usually individually not having the organization or the financial mean to get internationally and to have the right visibility to be successful. So we federate several of these brands and we have them to go on the shelf or on the digital store of some of the most important retailers in the world, creating traffic, investing in the marketplace to generate visibility and traffic, so give a higher chance to this product to be known, to be seen, and ultimately, hopefully, to be sold. Well, Italy is already a power country. Industrially, is the second manufacturer in Europe. But important things is to put in action activities that help the Italian industry to renovate and to be more competitive in area where we were not before. Italy is very competitive in what we can call low and mid technology. Was not in high technology sector. Now, high technology is paving the ground for growth and competitiveness in the future. So it's a must that Italy become more competitive also on this field. And some of the action that has been taken recently by the government, like the famous Plan Industry 4.0, is really bound to increase competitiveness in this area, so to encourage investment in research and development, to encourage investment in asset, and to encourage investment to create competence center where you can create pool to share knowledge of the latest frontier of technology. Actually, in Italy, let me say overall, in digital matter, but particularly in e-commerce, we are very late. No secret, no defensiveness, we are really late. And we need to recover fast because already today, the biggest part of growth of the retail world is on e-commerce, but most importantly, is an exponential growth, it's not logarithmic. So each year, the growth is going to accelerate. So we need to take this train, and we need to be fast to take this train. So we have decided, we defined last year a strategy that is a three-pillar strategy, and we start implementing the strategy in 2018. So the first pillar of the strategy is training. You can start only if you are able to create that minimum base of knowledge and competence on digital matter. The second part of the strategy is to have agreements with some of the most important marketplace and e-tailer in the world, to give the opportunity to a number of small, medium Italian companies to sell on those marketplace. We are going to create the opportunity to create let me say, a brand hub that federate this company. And then we're going to invest to create visibility and traffic directly on the marketplace. Focus is particularly US and China, because the two together make around 75% of the total e-commerce in the world. And we have started this with the first agreement that has been announced in end of 2017 with the Yux Net-a-Porter. And with this agreement together with Yux Net-a-Porter, we are going to bring more than 100 small fashion companies to present and sell their products in China and United States. We are in a very advanced dialogue with a big player in China, Alibaba Group. We have dialogues with other players. So the idea here is to give opportunity to small and medium enterprises that, again, alone wouldn't be in the condition financially, because of connection, because of competence, to participate to this big opportunity and facilitate them. The third part of the strategy is multi-channel activity. So whenever we organize a big promotion with a retailer in the world, we are sure that digital, and e-commerce specifically, is a key part of the agreement. So any Italian company that will participate, let's name few, with which we are doing things today, Bergdorf in the United States, more than Isetan in Japan, more than Galleria in Korea, the plan will always include e-commerce and digital activity. As also in this way, we're going to more and more create a paradigm that if you want to do a right marketing for your brand, digital is not anymore the cherry on the cake, it's more the cake where you have to put the cherry. Advantages are clearly, first of all, a very strategic geographic position. So Italy is on the crossroad between North and Central Europe and Africa, Eastern Europe and Western Europe. So it's in a very good position, not only to do business in Italy, but also as a hub to do business in the rest of Europe and in Africa. Number two, very good level of infrastructure, highway, railway, energy, telecom, and so on and so forth. So structure for doing business is pretty good. The quality of manpower is very well known and is high quality at a very competitive price. You have also a system of incentive today to attract investor that is pretty rich, both for the company and individually for the investor. And I should say also the idea of come and work and live in Italy is pretty attractive for the Italian lifestyle, for the quality of life. So the combination of this make of Italy a very attractive proposition. I also want to say that despite I understand that political stability is a factor, Italy is quite used to political instability. You know pretty well that we changed the 65 government in 73 years. Now, if you are in a company and your board and your CEO, you have 65 changes in 73 years, maybe your company is going to go bankrupt. Instead, Italy were able to go ahead pretty well despite these changes. So instability is a kind of stable factor now in Italy. And this is because of the basics are very strong. The basics are very solid, so there is not a change of government that can undermine Italy's ability to develop business and to make investment fruitful and with good returns.